So Paul, I'll start it off. You've coming off the last win over Ward. You called for MacDonald. You've got it. Is it the dream fight?
Yeah, it's a massive fight. You know, it's got a great response from the MMA public, the MMA media. It's a huge fight. It's a bigger fight than a lot of the other promotions, cards that they got coming out, and I'm happy that Bellator have given me the opportunity, because for me, in my eyes, Rory is one of the top 3 welterweights in the world, and for me to be his first fight in Bellator is a massive opportunity for me.
It looked like Michael Venom Page, obviously the initial press conference about a month ago, to announce your fight. He looked like he was a bit peeved off that he didn't get the fight with you.
He was, but yeah, most definitely. But you know, it's part of the game. There's a time for everything, you know, and he just wasn't on my schedule. Obviously, the plans for my career also married up with the plans that Bellator had for me. So there's going to be a time for the Venom Page fight, because it's a massive fight. You know, he is a talent, but the time's just not now.
For you, is it a bigger fight because you know, Rory's an established guy coming over from the UFC? Michael, you know, a lot of people have questioned whether he's fought the right opponents, or the opponents that are really up to a very high level in the promotion. Yeah,
most definitely. You know, for me, I've fought at the high level before. You know, if you see my record, you see the names that I've been in there with. I've got wins over, some I haven't got wins over. But you know, I've been in there with the current UFC champion. I've been in there with guys like Nick Diaz. Got wins over Martin Kampmann, who was ranked number 3 at the time in the other promotion. So I've been in there with the top dogs, and I feel like I've earned my place at the top of the mountain. You know, I've took risks. Some have paid off, some haven't. But Michael, he's very young in his career. He's had 12. He's not taken those risks yet, and for me, he's still finding his feet in the sport. Put him in there against a Koscheck or, you know, a Brennan Ward, or someone who's going to push him or test him, someone of a more elite caliber. Let's see what it's worth. Or even the guy that he has now, a guy like Derek Anderson, is a tough. He might be 155 and coming up, but you know, Derek Anderson's no joke. So we'll see what's up there.
Do you feel like Michael Venom Page said that he felt that you disrespected him? Why do you think he said that?
I have no idea, you know, because for me, I was cool with the guy, and then we come to the press conference and it's like, you disrespected me, you called me Adrian Broner, which, I know, some people, you may take it as a disrespect, you may not, but Adrian Broner is a very talented boxer. I just said that Adrian Broner sort of was like chasing Floyd Mayweather when Floyd Mayweather was so already established in the sport. And that, for me, that's what it felt like Venom Page was doing. You know, I've been 13, 14 years in this game. I feel like I've got an established name. There's only one Semtex in this sport. If you go anywhere in the world, any MMA fan, you say Semtex, I know it's Paul Daley. So I've established myself in the sport. I've got a strong fan base, and I feel like he was chasing the fight because he knows that I have that established, strong fan base. And that's why I compared him to Adrian Broner, because, you know, Adrian Broner was after Mayweather for a little bit. Obviously, the fight didn't pay off for him, and since then, it's sort of styled himself on Floyd Mayweather. So that's where I got that comparison from.
Were you ever friends with him?
Yeah, we had a great time out in San Diego. You know, we went out to promote the British Invasion card, and they made the mistake of putting the British guys on the front row and then giving us a free bar. So, you know, obviously, being British, we all had a drink, and we all got along very well. So, and it was like that for the next few events after that. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, when I hear that the Bellator's coming back to London, there's some kind of beef developing. It's doing the whole Paula thing, and for me, it was kind of see-through. I could see what he was trying to do, and I commend him for trying to establish himself as a legitimate welterweight against a guy like me, like I say, who's been there and done that and still doing it. So, you know, it is what it is, and he'll get his time.
What would you say if you had some advice from Michael Venom Page? What would you say to him now?
Just keep doing what he's doing, but, you know, he has to step his levels up. He has to get in there with the caliber of guys I've been in there with. Your Kazuo Masakis, your Nick Diaz's, your Josh Koschecks, your Tyron Woodleys, your Scott Smith, your Dwayne Ludwigs. You know, my career, I've been in there with tough guys early on. If you look back to when I fought for Cage Rage, my 11th fight was against Dave Strasser, whose last fight before that was against George St. Pierre. That was my 11th fight at Cage Rage. So, you know, I've been an established fighter against top names for a long time, and I don't feel Venom Page fighting a 40-year-old, 50-year-old cyborg who can barely make it into the cage without someone, propping him up. Propping him up is a legitimate win.
Right.
He's an incredibly versatile fighter. Wherever the fight goes, he's always comfortable. Where do you see the big advantage being when you fight him in London?
For me, I feel like, obviously I have the knockout power. Rory's hit guys with clean shots, kicked guys in the head. He kicked BJ Penn a few times, kicked, Tyron Woodley a few times, clean in the head, hitting him with clean shots, and he doesn't have that knockout power. I can hit you with anything, and if it lands, you're going to go to sleep. So I think that is one of the main advantages I have. But the thing that I take most confidence from is the fact that I've had over 50 MMA fights and over 25 kickboxing matches. I fought everybody. Not everybody's in all the names, but every type of guy. Your tall guys, your small guys, your speedy guys, your strong wrestlers, your strong jits guys, everything. I've adapted, and I'm able to read the fight game very well. I feel my fight IQ is very underrated, and I don't go in there with a game plan. I just go to fight. And my last fights, my last 13 fights, I'm 12-1, and that one loss is to Douglas Lehman, the current champion. So I think I'm doing pretty fine at that.
Where does Rory rank in those rounds?
Rory would rank up there with the likes of Nick Diaz, Tyron Woodley, Martin Kampman in my eyes. He's very similar, in fact, to Martin Kampman in the fact that he's a very straight punching striker, very legit kickboxer with a decent ground game, just as Kampman had. But when you're in there with a guy like me who's aggressive, who's going to be in your face, who's going to be landing shots, and these shots are heavy shots, it's something. Even Robbie Lawler, he thinks he may be prepared because he fought a guy like Robbie Lawler. I'm telling you, not out of cockiness, but if I hit a guy, it's completely different. And I have 39 wins. Sherdog or all these other MMA websites has it as 32 knockouts. I have it as 34 because 2 of those come by submissions by strikes. So that's 39 wins, 34 knockouts. So
Just his last performance against Wonderboy was one of the worst in his career.
most definitely.
Do you feel that fight against Robbie Lawler has something to do with that? That he's maybe
Personally, I think,
not at his best?
yeah, I think his heart wasn't in the fight. I think maybe the fight was too soon after Robbie Lawler, and he wasn't happy with the UFC. He already started complaining a little bit about his pay structure and stuff like that. So I really think his mind was wondering. I seen at the press conference that we just had in London, I said the exact same thing, and Rory, as much as he maybe didn't want to, sort of had a little nod confirming what I seen as a fan, because I'm a fan of Rory, and I got that impression from watching the fight that his mind really wasn't in that fight, like his mind was elsewhere.
Paul, just a lot for me, an old foe of yours, Josh Koscheck.
Yes. Got knocked the fuck out. That's what happened to Josh Koscheck. Look, like I said, when we seen the fear in his eyes at the press conference, Josh, I don't know if the media know, but he's doing very, very well in retirement. The guy's a legit businessman. He's making a lot of money. His house is fucking huge. Sleeping in silk pajamas on fucking, I don't know, the finest silk sheets from wherever they fucking come from. But, he's living a good life right now. So I told him at the press conference, Josh, you don't want to fight, and you definitely don't want to fight me. He fought a guy of a lesser caliber and got knocked out. So he made a good and a bad choice. At least it wasn't me knocking him out, because he could still be asleep now.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Paul. Cheers.